This is a short essay written by Nahum Kaplan and Joshua Hoffman.
U.S. President Joe Biden's betrayal of Israel is the greatest betrayal since Brutus stabbed Caesar. He has destroyed the United States and the Democratic Party's credibility and shown himself to be of low moral fortitude. Biden is now withholding military aid from Israel, an ally fighting a war on 6 fronts, over a difference of opinion about military strategy, or so we are told. He does not want Israel to go into Rafah, destroy Hamas, and win a war that Israel did not start because of civilian populations. He does not want Israel to defeat the Islamists. Cravenly, he has done this for 3 possible reasons. 1. To appease his party's far-left lunatics, who are wild anti-Semites, anti-American, and against the West as we know it. 2. To cater to the Qatari regime, whose best friends include Hamas, since the Qataris have been subversively funding Biden's Democratic Party going back to at least the Clinton administration in the 1990s. And 3. To acquiesce to Iran, which might be threatening Biden through back channels to start a wider war in the Middle East should Israel mount a true offensive in Rafah, Hamas's last major stronghold. Let there be no confusion about the destructiveness of Biden's policies. They are hostile to Israel, a catastrophe for U.S. foreign policy, a disaster for U.S. deterrence in the Middle East, and a stain on the Democratic Party. Here is a catalog of the damage. Biden has turned support for Israel into a bipartisan issue. The Republican Party now supports Israel far more strongly than the Democratic Party. Given that younger generations have been brainwashed into being so anti-Israel, this may have been inevitable. However, Biden has forced the issue before its time and at a critical juncture for the Jewish state. It is a despicable act. Biden has legitimized the campaign of lies and blood libels against Israel, lies that Israel is targeting civilians, bombing indiscriminately, blocking aid, and whatever today's fiction is, which now look more legitimate. Biden is legitimizing fake news. This is kindling to the raging anti-Semitic fire. Biden is weakening Israel at a time when anti-Semitism is at its worst since World War II. That Biden is doing this when the need for a Jewish homeland and sanctuary has never been more obvious speaks to his deep moral deformity. Biden has destroyed U.S. credibility among its allies and engineered a defense credibility crisis. U.S. allies in Asia, Japan, the Philippines, South Korea, and Australia, not to mention Taiwan, who are staring down an increasingly assertive China, are watching in horror. Is America a reliable ally? Evidently not. The Chinese are dancing a jig. Biden has weakened U.S. influence in the Middle East. Russia is backing Iran's destabilization of Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, and the Palestinian territories, which the U.S. has failed to deter. China has brokered diplomatic relations between arch-rivals Saudi Arabia and Iran. The United States? It has abandoned its staunchest ally. Biden has weakened U.S. influence over Israel and his own stated goal of a 2-state solution. An Israel that needs to be more self-reliant may figure that it is more secure by being larger, i.e., Greater Israel. Surrendering the biblical heartland and strategically important highlands of Judea and Samaria to the Palestinians looks like a terrible idea if you cannot rely on your allies for help. If Israel is not getting its weapons from the United States, it will increase its own manufacturing capabilities. It will also look to buy from other sources. Opportunistic rivals will see providing such weapons as an inroad to greater influence in the Middle East. Lest anyone ever doubted it, the Jews can never rely on others for their ultimate security. That is why we have Israel,